Me family, me name na Racheal Davis, and I want to talk to you quickly about this big sick where they all over the world where they call coronavirus. Coronavirus is there, a year, and it no get medicine. And some of the ways the way people can get them quickly, now where somebody will get them, cough or sneeze. So do ya make we wash we hand all time with soap and water. Or we can use hand sanitizer. No touch your face. If you want to go out, use your mask all time. When you're in a public place, make sure say you're 6 feet away from the next person. If you want to cough or sneeze, put your hand over your nose and you can do that safely. Make we also listen to the Master Sabi people and the government for any instruction we then give we. This na the thing what we for do for help tap the spread of coronavirus. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Tell It to Racheal show, the program that talks about true life changing stories, gives voice to the voiceless, creating awareness and on issues affecting women and girls in our society. And today, like you see on the screen, the topic is divorce and co-parenting. And as always, I have my experienced, vast knowledge guests that are here to throw light on this issue and also share their experience, thoughts, and opinion that will help all of us out there to learn from all this. But before I introduce you to my guest, let me take a short break and commercial break, and I will be with you right back.
Hello, Facebook family and friends. This is Sunke Keita, a real estate agent. If you're looking into buying a home, selling a home, please contact me so I can help you. My telephone number is 240-423-5004. I repeat, 240-423-5004. And also, if you have some credit challenges, I have someone that can help you to fix your credit so you can buy. And I have different lenders that I work with that can help you for the first time home buyer program that we have so you can benefit from those homes. Thank you and God bless you all for listening to my people. Thanks again, God bless.
Welcome back. That was Madam with a real talk that the DMV community has. So if you want to buy us, you the free to get the right, credit and everything. She'll work it out for you. So let's go to the issue of straight away. And I'm going to read through this. And before I introduce you to my guest, research suggests that quality of the relationship between co-parenting can also have a strong influence on the environmental well-being of children and the incidence of anxiety and depression. Of course, putting aside relationship issues, especially after an acrimonious split, to co-parenting, agreeably easier said and done. Well, yes, it's easier said than done. That is why today we guest an answer today. We can talk to we about really waiting divorce mean to a family and talking of co-parenting as well, because these are issues where woman and man they face personally. So these are things that happen every day in our community. With a see divorce that take place, and with a see current co-parenting, way not appropriate. So we get that answer today. They can talk to me about the effect of divorce, especially when you guys have children. How una can make co-parenting work better in the interest of the children while you guys are putting aside your own personal difference. Today on the Television Show program, I have my guest Rita Ara. Rita, can you say hello to Fambulem?
Hello, Nadu. Happy Sunday to everyone. I'm CEO and founders of Daughters of Sierra Leone. I want to tell you thank you for tuning in today, Sunday. God bless.
Okay, I also get Mr. Prince, Commander, we a very good contributor towards this program all the time. Prince, say hello to family.
Hello, everybody. Thanks again for watching. This topic is something which is very close to my heart, so I'll hopefully try to bear it all on this program tonight.
Thank you so much. And of course, my loving guest, we always, like I said, they with me on this program as always, Master Safa Bangura. Say hello to Fambulen, please.
Fambulen Onadu.
Okay, well, we did go. Of course, I expect media sister Patricia Ganda. We also been there with me just now, but until now, no Africa. Sometimes the network can fall short, so at any time it can come in and go. So I want to make a move quickly because there is a lot to talk about today, if time permits me. And when they talk about, I just want to give an overview to family. What do they talk about today? When they talk about divorce and co-parenting, these, these are things we cannot shy away from, especially when you're in a marriage or you're out of the marriage and you're co-parenting. The thing that we can talk about with the experienced guests always, we then look into the effect of divorce and also how both parties can come together amicably for make sure they work in the best interest of the pekin. It's a broad topic, but today we want for bring them together and talk about the important things where they happen inside divorce and co-parenting. So let me take it to you, Masa. First of all, let's talk about divorce in particular. How do you think, divorce they affect in a family setting? How do you think, divorce, first of all, they affect the both individual before we even come to family-wise children? How do you think, divorce situation can affect both parties? But before you talk, please, I want to appeal to the family as you're joining in. Please share the video. Call somebody to come and listen. This is a very, very important topic where we all can learn from. And also, we need your input. If you get anything for say, you get your experience for share, you get your thoughts, your opinion, your comments, please throw it on this program and we all can join and talk about that. So, Masa, over to you.
Yeah, Fambulen, I do once more time. Once more again, I just want to follow and know say this is not a broad topic. And the whole thing about divorce is this. Divorce now a union between a husband and a wife. We don't go to don't take oath before God and man. They don't say a vow. And it gets to a time, then get a separation. But the separation it's caused by various reasons why did they go apart. So it's gonna affect both people because they were once in love, even if they're not beloved themselves but they just married. It still means then co-share the bed, then co-share the house, then co-share all the things that where they don't get within themselves. They also don't share and don't buy things together. So no matter what it is, they don't bond at one particular point in time. And it get for come to a time that disagreements, they cause them for go apart. They might not agree on something. So maybe before the worst come to worst, men and just might as well go apart. So divorce is basically the separation of love and the splitting of love, the splitting of union, the splitting of their unity, whether they say we don't bond, but now that they unbond. So this is where divorce, or this is basically what divorce is. So it's gonna touch the heart. The woman in mind go be sour, the man in mind go be sour. No matter what it is, even if the entire heart say it better my divorce, but the all two, there is something about it that the all two hearts not go get for sweet wherever they be. So far, it better make I just stop here and let everybody share their thoughts about divorce.
Absolutely. Masa, like you rightly say, most times when disagreements come inside, some people not able to withstand them. One party will say, you know what, let us come to a conclusion that we have to break away. We'll get for divorce, everybody get for go in your own way, but like you said, I need everybody let's throw light on the issue, like I say, on divorce first of all before we lead to co-parenting, because divorce, like you said, is a broad issue. People divorce for different reasons, where we cannot control. But let us talk about how in the impact of both lives. I want to come to you, Patricia. How you think say divorce the impact both lives, especially when they've worked together, they've been in a marriage relationship for so many years, and all of a sudden one party say, or agreeably they say, okay, let's go our own separate ways. How do you think say they affect both parties? Because not to just woman they affect man as well. But what do you think say really it affect more in the divorce, Patricia? Can you hear me, Patricia? I get some kind of technical difficulties a little bit with Patricia. Myself can understand Africa sometimes, it's a little bit in and out. You still like you don't go out. But I want to ask Rita, before we come to Prince, how you think say divorce they affect the two people and the two parties, and what do you think say it really really touch more when it comes to breaking up?
Well, I feel say divorce sometimes when divorce they happen because think about it, this not person way one or two don't share the host together, share things together, do things in common. And I feel say um it's it's a very sad situation that both of us can sit down and say, you know what, we have to go our separate ways. So to me, I feel say the women they more can hurt more because we women them we they so attach and put we all into what we do. I'm not saying that the men don't do the same, but for we women them I feel say now women then they affect more because now then they're in charge of running the house, doing groceries, cooking. You used to plan dates them together. You used to do so much together. So to me, I feel say personally the women that they go through more when it comes to divorce because no woman no day we want divorce. It's just that say sometimes things not work out the way you plan and for be, and everybody decide for say let them go their separate ways because probably are not compatible. Maybe things that you like, this person doesn't like it, and maybe this person is different from you. And then when I don't stay together, you realize, say, you know what, I don't think this is it's for me, or I don't think this is gonna work out. So I feel say to me, the women that they go through more in divorce than the man then.
All right, thank you, Rita. Like I say, Fambolem, una self get a role for play inside this program as always. We need una thoughts, una comments, and what una self think about being divorced and as a single parent or co-parenting. Let us talk about it and let us make a headway in a different relationship. Probably you are out there going through divorce or you are already divorced, you're co-parenting, and this is a platform that we all can talk about and see how your own co-parenting will work better for the interest of the children. Prince, you agree with waiting Rita say what is say divorce affects the woman then because the woman then gets they give in more in a marriage than the man then. Do you agree with that?
Not necessarily. Okay, let me just say first and foremost, nobody they enter marriage with the expectation say then we'll get divorced. And in the case of a divorce, I think it depends on it depends on how much you don't give in terms of yourself, in terms of emotion. If the man don't give himself so much in that relationship day, more than the woman, then in divorce, I think the man go feel the pain more. But as we know, women usually can be very emotional, so they don't give a lot of emotion into the marriage, don't give a lot of them time, give a lot of themselves into the marriage. So if there's a divorce, the party will don't sort of invest more of the emotion. I feel to say that person I will feel more if they're in divorce, because it will come to a time where either party could don't become so fed up with the marriage that if in the event of a divorce, that party they then divorce and obviously they go feel her. Because you will say, well, this is a relief. Because there are times that we divorce, you feel it's a loss. But sometimes some divorce there, you feel to say, well, at least I don't give me peace and my sanity back.
All right. Well, this not Prince Ion take it one day, but Master, what you find out say in a divorce, like I said, we they gradually go to dig inside divorce a little bit. Let me just form a background that will lead to good parenting or bad parenting or not going the wrong way in terms of co-parenting with our children. But Rita talk about something like with divorce, woman them can more affected. Reason being because now we they giving more, now we they take care of the children, now we they spend time taking children, take care of the home, go the extra mile, and so much, that we have to sacrifice for a longest time. And looking at say we've wasted so much time in this relationship for making end and divorce. And you don't say when divorce come, then a man all like you all 70 in a married. Well, woman, the possibility is slim. When it gets to certain age, it's possible, but it's very slim. So I can understand where Rita is coming from. But do you also agree with that as a woman?
I don't listen to both of them, and everybody don't say in your opinion. But one thing I can say is Pushianda it always better pass empty house. Mr. Prince, I understand where you're coming from, but the moment that person passed through that door and closed the door, I'm telling you, some form of emotion they run through. You go say, yes, I don't get me relief, I don't get me headache, done, fine. But let's be honest, when you see them right there, even in that 10 minutes, if you go reflect and say, wow, it's like I'm all by myself. Thank God for kind you get for need somebody will go help you for even old something there. When you jam yourself, you go begin member say, oh shit, this possibly there. But anyway, then you go say, anyway, it don't happen the way they happen. But it also counts to the women them. Women invest so much time. But one thing I can always say, the person will they be affected in the midst of all these things are picking them. They picking them what we bring come into this world in the midst of this marriage. No matter how you feel, say you are strong for take care of the picking all by yourself, or the woman feels say strong for take care of the picking all by yourself. I'm telling you, you're gonna go through pain, you're gonna go through some laps. These things are gonna affect you, and it's gonna affect the picking. It get for affect them in school, it get for affect them in society. No matter what it is, it get for affect them. So I believe say as we go along, we go talk about how these things gonna affect the children. Because some of us educators, when they speaking in kind of school where they are single parents, we struggle with them. One, the effect of you people, two people going apart, that's affecting their mindset. Mama there and papa there and nana maybe they for kind of one house for come there or two. Now again for can go now two different houses there, and mama don't go get another man, papa don't go get another woman. They picking up be entangled now. How in step mama or in step papa go behave to ram. Now you two them we don't bring this picking to this world. Don't put that poor picking inside that predicament we not ask for. Let me be honest and sincere, because some step parents are good, some step parents are bad. But no matter what it is step. You have to take a leap for let you able for get to the next level. Okay, the picking get for walking way through for making step mama leka, it get for walking way through for let step papa leka. It get for get certain behaviors now where it get for adapt. But if you go to in your mama and papa way born them, it not get for go through that struggles. Number two, when they speaking in at school, when they say for call for parents meeting, papa they call mama and now you for attend. Picking the mama they say papa now you for attend. Sometimes they show up, sometimes two families show up. I'll tell you, do you know how it feels when mama and papa show up for the pikin? How proud the pikin be, and then this other one son, all is seen at one person or in not seen none at all. I hope people think about these things. What's the torture they put these children through? Okay, so you don't move on with life because you want peace. Okay, you want peace. So anyway, let me not talk so much. Make other people then say talk, but let me really focus on the picking their own side, how this thing they affect them.
Okay.
Yes, Massa, thank you for able getting into the point or to the other step where we want for go. Because in a divorce situation where picking and the inside, the children they suffer more. The children are they suffer more. I think that's a lot of parents then seem not for understand. But Prince, I want to come to you. Why is it so difficult? Because you see in a breakup, divorce, and everything, when children don't coincide in terms of co-parenting, why is it sometimes it's so difficult for make the two parties then put aside their grudges, their differences, and all of that, and focus on the picking or the interest of the picking them, because we see that, and we should not be shy away from that, because we see that a lot of times either one party or both party not they seek the picking their interest, but always want to put their own personal emotion and the relationship emotion in co-parenting. Why is it so?
The reason for that is very, very simple. Because in most cases, then, when two people then divorce, the woman can always want to use the picking as a bargaining chip. Because especially if the woman realize say the man so left the picking, it will try for prevent speaking for sins for city daddy. So as a result, that sort of example there, the man they become so selfish that they think about the picking in need. The man will therefore take the woman to court for making see the picking. I speak from a very personal point of view. You ever take the man to court time and again, you do all things for your picking, you sign for semi picking. Then the woman refused because they know say you love the picking. So if it's just the only way going to get back at you, and for deprive for see the picking. That is wrong. It's not only wrong.
Is it so? Why is it so?
It is so because maybe the woman still wants the man. If relationship don't done, it don't done. All man go your own way. But when picking day, people then go for be conscious, say, well, the needs of the picking is paramount. It can't force. But if somebody still they in love with you, they love with them anymore, I don't pass. If I forget about your own selfish desires, your own selfish needs, and concentrate on the picking, especially if the man is a responsible person, rather than put in your needs first. So in most cases, I don't see man where go say, in order for let the woman see the picking. As long as the woman is engaged with somebody, but 99% of the time, the woman and they use the picking for hurt the daddy there. Now it make most, especially country to black kids. This they really paid me because they destroy the growth of that child, whether a boy or girl, they destroy the growth of that child. They mentally, some of this damage they cause to them picking and so it's a long-lasting damage which until not ever be healed. Because if the bottom up inside, then they talk. But this is something which I believe say the system again will find itself like this part of the world. They contribute to this kind of nonsense because they give the woman then so much power. So the woman said they know they get power, so they abuse that power there, and that power then they abuse, not affect it might go affect the man somehow, but it will affect the picking more. Let's just give an example. When I've been divorced, I began my office, the time they work. I can go in at my office, I lock my office, and they cry because I miss me picking. But outside, I try to pretend for everything fine. The minute woman that I say you so love the picking, it take advantage. People then say, please, oh, just forget about this bobo, just forget about this bobo. I refuse I will not do that because this time a picking. I just therefore fight the case and try to make a get a relationship with the child. But most times the women them and they use the bobo them or the picking them against the daddy them. So no, that this problem. I don't say those men know, but 99% with the women.
All right, Rita, you agree with that?
I really don't agree with that. It depends on the situations. It could be sometimes, some women then the way they do that. But one thing I want my brother for understand as well, it's not like they're using the kids against you. It's first of all, let's say it's how the divorce go. Now, I get a friend where he went through divorce. Of course, definitely it dey affect the pikin them. If one are then a host, una they get small issue, you and your husband or you and your wife, it dey affect the pikin them because watch them how they behave, their countenance, they act different if mama and papa they get small issues. One this side of the world dey, like you rightly say, sir. Now Africa divorce rate is not so high. Now, let's say this man married to this woman, then all of a sudden, if he say this woman is not good, she can cook better, or if he'll say this woman is finding all faults as this woman, then and sometimes we women them he ask for law we say really we want for divorce any man. No, in all day, let me say if 100%, let me say 10 or 5%, a woman will go still say he get a good home, he want for divorce him. One, if the woman say, okay, maybe at that time she's hurting, she has invested so much in this relationship, she's put in so much time, so much then she feel like she's not appreciated, then that anger comes in. It's not okay, like you rightly said, sometimes you go to office, you they cry that you want to see your kids. How about sometimes if we put those pride aside, you crying in the office and actually reach out to that person, say, you know what, I understand that this relationship did not work out, but this is about the child. Can we put our differences aside? And which we all know sometimes we African men, them the ego, we don't want to do that. We feel like when I do that, I feel like I'm losing. But this is not about me or you or the other person. It's about this child. You have a child that you've brought into this world. So if we not a put most of the divorce the way they happen, women don't see. I've never went through that, and God forbid, I don't want to go through that road. Sometimes what do they think is if that man they abuse you, that woman they abuse you, I don't think there's a need for divorce. But if people then decide say they want for divorce, it's okay. But one, think about this child. Think about what you would do to that child. Two separate parents them is sometimes in the work. Like what in Massa say, step papa na step papa. I beat step papa na step papa. Nobody not able for show you picking that love when are you then at the host. Teeth and tongue they jam. Yes, sometimes let we man themselves. And to me, I they say the man then get more parts, and then sometimes maybe 5% with the woman, then sometimes they marry the wrong wife and she's taking advantage. I get that. But most of the time, now we man them, they feel say, okay, I want for divorce, I go care and go, I go this, I go that. They can left the picking them behind. They don't know the trauma and the psychological problem where this thing they get towards them picking here. When they go to school, they're not able for focus. Then and society now, sometimes when you want married somebody, they go say you mama and papa then divorce. So that can give a concern to them picking their as well. So to me, I feel say the woman that they try for all the picking then say they play you wickedness because of while they see you picking. At that time, she has invested so much time, she has invested so much effort into the marriage, so she's hurt. So the time I feel say, well, would they cry or would they dwell on things? And you be the bigger person and reach out, say, you know what? This is not about me, this is not about you, this is about this child. How can we be a better parent to this child? How can we put our differences aside and make sure this child grow up with a loving family. The mom is there. You guys don't need to be married. The dad is there to support. So I feel, say to me, if we come to that agreement and we say, let's do this, we can do that.
All right, Rita, you don't. Okay, yeah, you want to respond?
I want to respond, yeah. Okay, what you say is partly correct in the sense that everybody gets different situation. I'll still use me as an example. What you talk, so it did happen in terms of, despite with on part, then there was kind of peace and harmony. So thinking they actually even go weekend, now the place they sleep, men but sleep in your own room. But the minute where that woman they realize you've got somebody else where they in love with, then the whole thing fall apart again. I mean, talking about being a bigger person, that was an act of being the bigger person. But if the person would realize, well, I don't divorce, there's no more physical relationship, we're only together because of the child. So they're never able to understand that fact, because it's a fact. If the man don't move on, if you move on, woman says supposed to move on, and the only commonality for be the child. But if you try for be friendly, then woman starts to say, well, you interested again. That's where the problem starts all over again. But
yeah, so maybe Prince, I understand.
Racheal, let me just buttress with what you want to say. I definitely understand where he's coming from, and this is where like what I said before, that the women that they end up hurting more, because at that time you're ready to move on, you want to mingle. She's not ready yet, mentally, physically, she's not in that place. So of course, this is not somebody we don't marry for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, even one day. There is a bond, there's a chemistry right there. So for you to go apart, that's someone I'm used to, this is my husband.
Can I just say something in this, please?
Exactly.
Mr. Prince, I understand where you're coming from. Rita, I understand where you're coming from. Let me be the child's advocate right here. When you people are going through the trauma, when you people are going through the fight, you're going through the battle, and you both decide for, say, and try for divorce. You know what? I'm tired. I'm fed up. It's better we go our separate ways. I'm not too sure. I don't, I'm not in the mind of people the way they make that decision day, but I don't know if they come and sit down and then at the round table and say, you know what, let us first analyze how we get to handle this speaking first. I not feel say parents then because of the rage where they go with.
That is where I think, Master, you're right. That is where the problem
because
that
the problem they did when you don't ready for say I want peace. The woman says if one piece. I understand the problem. Nobody ever say stay married. Okay, but the question is, did you both sit and talk? Say, okay, we are planning this. Follow we go to court. Follow we go do this divorce. How are we going to handle the child? Like Mr. Prince, you say you go there, you sleep in the boy room. If not me, you know the kind of that house. I can tell you, period, the end. You understand what they say? That'll be very realistic to you. If not be me, you are not coming into my house. We are no longer together. You cannot own a room because your child is underage. Where you own a room, you can go sleep in a room. You are not coming to my house. Me, I go tell you point blank. Yes, you can come, you sit down at the parlor, you bond with your child. I'm not gonna stop you, but you are not staying over because you know what it called peace. If you be one follow we patch them, we don't patch them. But okay, I know they talk about your situation. Let me just be general, okay? When people then go say, woman, they use the picking for say the Olam as a trump card. I'm not trying to be sexist or for say advocate on behalf of women, but understand the woman carry this child 9 months na dembele. The woman I breastfeed this speaking. The woman I know the ins and out of this speaking. Yes, you the father also know the ins and out of the speaking. You have some women who are totally not the even get from about the pikin, if they get no business for deal with the pikin. That we understand, okay. But now we go to that side. where you love the pikin, the woman self love the pikin. The woman they take like for say it gets more advantage reason because in they look and say, okay, now in they don't bond with this pikin, now in go be the better person we go able for raise the pikin. That's why when you go to court they rather give the woman the pikin because court they look and say the side where court they give man picking mostly if the woman kind of if either in work no so woman they if in work like it work too much and then they kind of squeak okay a pass get for left the picking to nanny or left hand to waiting then the man go stand a chance for let them get to her all the woman they on drugs all the woman they pass on life but not only that if the woman is mentally stable some way somehow based on the judge in judgment that they give and the pikin the woman should say yes it can be capable and responsible for the pikin then can give the woman the pikin you the man you go end up pay child support and all these things okay but one thing we can say if you know say please anybody where they listen this show have that child in mind first before you take your exit. Before you take your exit, una sit down, una discuss how this thing will be because remember now 2 tantrums they run. You very bitter, this woman very bitter. We don't know why una separate. We just don't want to know why una separate. That una and God una get for go answer that they to God, not to we. But the picking where they in the middle, right? The picking where they in the middle. Let people then not put this picking through all these problems because I've seen this thing so much. Like me, I take myself as an example. The moment I know say me picking papa tried not for the inside life, I just don't even want your money as a child support. I make let you even know say it's considered X. That's why I name self not in at the picking back. I'm telling you.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, I want to give Patricia chance. Master, I want to give Patricia chance in as much as in they go in and come in. But I want to clear this thing quickly with and Racheal we just send message say what a roundtable when it's mainly because there is no communication that brought about the divorce in the first place. Well, now the topic is when they talk about when it has gone to the situation when you guys have to divorce because there are a lot of factors that comes into play when you talk about divorce. You know what I mean? There are a lot of factors. So we don't want to get into those specifics. The only thing we're trying to say here, when it gets to that point, when you say enough is enough and you guys don't divorce already or about to divorce and una get for co-parents. So these are the two things we want to put together and see how we will get a smooth walkthrough with these both parties when you talk about divorce. So I just want to clear that with you. But I agree with Massa to some point, but I still want to play the devil advocate here. Let's assume because I know I'm a woman. I know exactly how it feels like. I know exactly say we are more hurting than the man them, especially in a divorce way. Sometimes the man quickly don't move on. Then you don't move on it. You get my point. The man don't move
Rita,
on.
Racheal.
I'm coming, Massa. In a situation, like you said, when this divorce they happen, nobody talks about the kids. Nobody ever puts the kids into play. Like, okay, they divorce is divorce, but I will get for manage them pikia. I will get for co-parents and pikia. The both parties most times don't think about the kids. I'm telling you, that's the battle with the emotions and with the emotions everything to the drain.
One thing I want to know
don't take place now. That is when they begin to say, "Oh, the picking there, okay, when you take care of them, that is when the confusion."
Well, Racheal, make I say something quick. Rita, beg, make I say something quick. Yeah, even the co-parenting. Let we understand, say co-parenting not just means say papa day and mama day, and co-parenting also means say you don't take this picking no go give granny for menam. You don't go give auntie for menam. You don't go give your mama for menam. Okay, you both are all co-parenting this one picking because that mama, that auntie, that granny, they instill in your method inside the picking. while the pikin in mama in one for instill in your method na born papa in one instill in your method. Then papa sit down and I say, well, afterwards na me mama. Na me your mama na in the pikin they too. Okay, so let me mama menam. While you the wife now we born the pikin say, na me born me pikin. So hey God, una not go understand these things. Pass una they see where the pikin are going to school. Where sometimes and they will not sit down with them pikin and they now because we teachers they not get right for talk. For say where papa come or mama come for talk. I'm telling you now because of lawsuits make them they talk. But if people that know what in these children they go through, when we teachers they want for talk say, oh, we they get some kind of event, family affairs. Me where we begin go to school, you tell we go to school because me. I'm proud to say, okay, it's public. Yes, me pikin papa fight. The moment you back out, your name is me tell you say just go, don't come back. Go, don't come back. Your name is not even on the birth certificate.
All right,
None of these things. And so what
you.
it can happen? Wait, make I say, Richard. So things like this will happen, right? When these problems don't be, where it don't be, these situations don't be, right? Some people feel saying that people then depend on this child support. Child support now one money. If me na be woman, I get control and I tell every woman not even collect them because I didn't fit they come out.
I'm coming there. I'm coming to child support. Right. But I want to give Patricia a chance for make it talk because you know it go in and out. Patricia, can you hear me? I know it's terrible out there. I feel so bad.
Yeah, it's okay. We understand.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Patricia is so frustrated with the network.
I don't think
before we go further, let me just listen or make we just discuss or talk about a little bit about waiting the viewers their own point. Abdullah say, it said most women use the kids against their father. That's one point we're going to talk about. A woman, sometimes it does happen. Then Georgiana said, our culture don't focus on kids during divorce. It's all about parents' emotional feelings. And the same thing Patricia is echoing as well here. Patricia said, yes, they don't consider the kids. If they did, they wouldn't shut wives like that. They can follow the divorce procedure. Most of them use their children when they fight. All right, so this, I think they're all, saying the same thing, and which is very, very important, with all this what we talk about. I think so in the first place, if they begin to think about those kids, first of all, I don't think that divorce today in a high rate. I'm telling you, in as much as sometimes it can get so bad with the two parties. But if you think about the children, I don't think say they will go so divorce rate go increase or it will go in the high rate. And also, I don't think say co-parenting go be so bad because let me be honest with myself, especially with the African community. When it talks about co-parenting, I swear, I don't want to swear because this is not even a TV we or we're online.
On air.
People, both parties, they tend to put emotions, they tend to put them frustration. In fact, sometimes they use it against the children. Don't you think so? Do you want to agree with that, Prince? They put the beginning into that emotions there.
Well, to be honest with you, it's like I don't read when I got divorced. I read a lot about the negative impact divorce can get on Pekin. Even when two parents them still they amicably, it still gets negative impact. So it gets negative impact, yes, definitely. So for alleviate that particular negativity on the child, it's incumbent on both parents for make the app able for put the Pekin force. I know if I can begin for preach for say, well, I'm a goody because the other person will respond. I won't say that. But as far as me concerning, so I was trying to be as neutral as possible. So if both parents have avoid for the lambast the other party, the father or the mother to the child, that again, it is so seed of hatred into that child in life. This will make this, I feel very strongly about this is because most black kids that is country, especially black boys, because they need a role model. And
Yes.
whether people then like this or not, most black women, like when I get upset on this because this is something I feel strongly about. Most black women always they use the child against the fathers. Okay, a point. Somebody make the point say, well, I'll remove the Pekin, the man in name from the Pekin. That means they lose the Pekin identity. That is not necessary for remove the Pekin in the man in name from the Pekin. And child support in a legitimate expense where every single man supposed to pay. Although some of the women abuse that as well, child support is a legitimate something, and at least all women supposed to take that. One more thing about this before I allow her to talk. The court system in this country, they're primarily responsible for the destruction of so many children and when they don't divorce. Would I give them the rights for say because picking on that woman in Bel Air, that woman will be a better parent than the man? That is fundamentally wrong. I'm not the power for change that, but if I have, I will change that. Because you get some man them, I will talk this up for me as an example. Everybody will know me, know say my relationship was very close. But
Yeah.
because woman they say woman is a nurturing type, it's not in all cases. So the cost not for just take this blanket approach for say as soon as there's a divorce, the child goes automatically to the mother. If co-parenting is established from the very onset, that is the beginning. Then I believe for say the life of the Pekin could be much better than when you decide for say, okay, well, I'm going to give the child to the woman. Then this fight hatredness starts for coming. The law therefore be changed for say where there is a divorce, it should be equal rights to the child in upbringing. That is what the court should do. And as something where I was saying picking on big now, as something where me self for rights to the whoever they are supposed for rights to, because it's something which I believe say they destroy the children, especially black children. They destroy the lives of these young people there, because the court is so liable for this. And black women.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Prince? Can I ask you a question?
Masala ask a question.
Okay.
Let me say something.
Before una dey answer this question, I understand. Yeah. But before una dey answer this question, going into child support and all of that, because this is it's becoming very interesting, and I like the response of the viewers. Them, like I said, keep sending in your messages, your comments, and we go discuss them as we go. I want we look at a short clip, patient, and look at this clip, and let we all discuss what we learn from this clip at the time for sharing in your best possible ways, and make we listen and see how we can able to understand this clip and see what we learn from this video. Where the video we look at them as I share this video. Let me all see the learn from this video.
Mrs. Baker.
He barely gives me any money, Your Honor. Last month, he only gave me $300. That's why I should have 100% custody of Brittany. He's the money too. Quiet, baby.
That's true, Mr. Jones. Are you not able to take care of your ex-wife's financial needs? Things have been a little tight lately. After I pay food and rent, I give her all the money I have. But that's still not enough.
$300 a month, Roger? That's pathetic. Good thing we have Damien now. Who makes as much money as you.
I do not make a lot of money. But that does not make me a bad father. You see, when we were married, I didn't have, but every week we got I asked her how did her day go. We laughed the whole way home. And whenever we got home, no matter what I was doing, I always put Brittany's needs first. I'd give her all my time and attention so that she could get ahead in life. And at night, I took my baby girl into bed and read her bedtime stories. I'd watch her smile and slowly fall asleep, knowing that her daddy loves her. So you see, I may make only half the money. I give twice as much love, and that's what's happening.
I'm sorry, but that is the saddest excuse I have ever heard. Roger, you can't pay bills with love.
Order. Settle down, Mrs. Baker.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Well, I've listened to your testimonies, but I'm going to have to give this some more thought. This court will readjourn in 2 days for my decision.
That is the saddest excuse I have ever heard. Roger, you can't pay bills with love. I won't be without you.
I'm not going to see this.
Ricky, get over here right this minute.
The next day, the mom came from school. Brittany tried to tell him how he was, but he couldn't care less. He's on, remembering how Roger would make Brittany laugh and smile. Later on, Brittany asked Damien for help with her homework, but he doesn't make any time for her. The mom looks over, remembering how Roger would give her so much attention. That night, as Brittany's about to go to sleep, she asked Damien to read her a bedtime story, but he says no. The mom watches sadly, now realizing how much of a better father Roger was towards Brittany. And then the next day, they come back to the courtroom. Good morning, everyone. Baker, is your boyfriend not John?
Oh, no. We're actually no longer together.
I see. Well, Mr. Jones, you seem like a great dad. Given your financial situation, I think it's best to grant Mrs. Baker 100% custody. If that's still what you want, Miss Baker. What? No, Your Honor, please.
Oh, please. I want to be without Daddy.
I can't live without my baby. I'm sorry. Well, unless Miss Baker changes her mind, I hereby grant her 100% custody of.
Shit.
Wait.
Torture the
I
child.
changed my mind. I realize now that Roger really is a good father. Even if he only has half as much money, he gives her twice as much love, and that's all that matters. Maybe I try to be a family with you.
I would love.
Hey, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
now them boname. Now
I
they do touch
know.
our arm.
Yes, yes.
Now one can parent the torture in that particular film there. The woman
Um,
and the torture the child.
eh, eh, um,
Mr. Prince. Okay, make I ask this question where I be one
Mm,
for ask earlier, right?
mm,
okay.
Until we get Rachel for come back. And the viewers are out there listening, and you take you picking things like this don't happen. The woman, we don't watch the video. Now we
Yes.
just use them as an example. The
mm-hmm.
woman and boyfriend is no longer in her life, and the woman, you could tell it was just her little pride and ego that she was trying to throw. So
Exactly.
now they can't go take this speaking out, it go left to somebody like an auntie or cousin for go take care of the speaking, right? Now that you just happen for the pass by, or you just the airdrop for listen, and then you hear the picking they try for tell a auntie say, hey auntie get
Rachel
your
don't come
picking
back.
them will say I want for me, auntie can you take me over there or take me some side. And then you hear the auntie use the word say, do you beg you, I get for go pa me pikin in show or my pikin on business. Let me tell you, papa and mama for let them come party company. Not can mix me there or two for me, don't they for care you go. Then you hear that kind of thing. How will you feel? And how you think say that thing go tear that pikin down. Remember that person is a co-parent, you know. When I say co-parent, I mean say you day under this day. Yeah. If you airdrop, you hear it and you watch and you pick can tell you say I beg me auntie for Kemi go pa me on show. Let me auntie use the word say, do you I beg you attire? We say this and then they grab no side. Not something be asking my papa made a scatter. How you go feel?
I know that's terrible, but the two
Okay.
now two things.
Rachel.
Rachel.
Okay, welcome back.
Yes, can I come in? Thank you, Mansa, as always,
Go
for
ahead.
holding it on for me. But this is I don't know how many of you are able for listen and watch them clearly.
Right.
Yeah.
We get the point, yeah.
Yes. For me, it's very, very emotional. This don't show say as Patricia said right there. Both parents, the pikin they need both parents, regardless. The mama tell
Yeah.
the pikin I olam, they need both parents. So I don't know which kind lesson where we learn from this video. There's a lot that I've learned personally. So let's talk about briefly what's in the lesson we'll learn from this video and how we will move on positively while co-parenting. Masa.
For me,
To me, okay.
Okay, for me, right? As the pikin don't get to that point, you didn't notice say the papa. I don't know, but like we say where we watch her, we go no say it dey look at like say, should I just let go of my pain, wait I go through with this woman and just accept and let I just be around this child, or should I just leave this child for in the arms of this woman and tear this speaking forever? Because the moment said the judge asked the lady, where is your boyfriend? They say they're no longer together. The woman in facial expression should say she
Change.
cannot do it all by herself. You a father, now you don't watch you picking where you born and look how big that picking they be. You don't use for read bedtime story to write, you don't use for why don't you just let go? I know say sometimes these things that will make
It's
una
hard.
divorce, it hurts. But for the sake of the child, I know the type of say come back, oh, not that they talk, but look at the child.
yeah, but that
Look
is a
at the
very
torture.
yeah, but that is a very unfair summary of this to watch. What to watch is so
So what's
clear.
in your take?
But
Prince?
my own take is very, very clear that the man because of in financial situation, the man be always
Right,
want to
that's
go
what I
to
noticed too.
hold on, because the man be always want for day in the life of his daughter. It clears that the woman may deprive the man for dinner the life of his daughter. That there's nothing to do with the pride of the man. The man come across as very, very humble and ready for be a co-parent to this child. That woman did not be forever come back to this man if his boyfriend not being the proof for say and not a worthy partner and that show no love to his daughter. Now I made the woman come back to his senses where he life was say in real papa, despite not financially strong, but he gave this girl much more than money. He gave her love and time and attention. So the man was humble. There was nothing like pride in this man's life, according to those who don't watch. All the pride, the arrogance, and the selfishness was all with this particular lady.
Rita, what's in your take before we say come
To
inside a
me,
little bit?
pretty much, immediately, I watch the video. So immediately narrates towards the video. What to me they say is sometimes in life, I feel say a lot of divorce the way they happen, we never get the chance for those sit on a round table and talk about what the problem is and what how you feel and how I feel. So we just feel say the right thing to do is to file the divorce thing and we wash with dirty linens out there. And so sometimes that's why I then get mediator when kids are involved. They have someone that is going to be between you guys. And then when you get to find out, I don't see so many things then they can settle out of courts. They try to work on their marriage, counseling and stuff. And what's in their need, not just petty thing, just something a little something where they walk around the marriage, then we feel say, you know what, I'm done. And for me, as an example, I've never been through that road, and I pray to God that I never been through that because I don't know what I would do. And so many times, me and my man, we forget misunderstanding, and I can be like, you know what, I don't want to get married anymore. I think I'm fine. Then he will say, you know what, Rita, I don't want to raise my kids this way. As a man, I swallow my pride, whatever it is, we can walk through it. I think as the devil, you walk through those phases. And for me, for this past so many years of being married, and I feel say we able for workouts. Maybe at that time I'm angry, I'm going through emotional stuff, and sometimes we women we go through different phases in life, and we feel like probably postpartum depression, so many stuff that is going through in we head, and sometimes we man and then they're able for understand what we're going through. They feel like okay, you have changed, you know, and so sometimes what they make them decisions they are. No, they think about we picking them. And so many African divorce the way they happen. If you ask the man why you divorcing your wife, it's not a something that you should divorce for. You know, and but we go ahead and say we want to divorce.
Rita, it can be both ways.
That's
It's
what I'm
just
saying,
that
Racheal.
probably from the man side, the divorce more they come out from the man side and the woman. But it can
Okay,
be
that's what
both
I'm saying.
ways. And
Like when I
honestly,
lost my mom,
yeah.
yeah, Rachel, I got it. When I lost my mom, my dad remarried. And the same issue happened with my dad. The woman take and go court. She wants to claim ownership. She wants to feel like, you know, because she's hurt, she feel like this doesn't work out what she planned. And end up me dad gets pretty much full custody of the child. So I'm not saying that there are some bad men out there. That's why I said from the initial point is there get some good man out there that actually sincerely wants to be part of this kid's life. But then if the woman hold back, say, okay, I don't want you for being at this Pekin life now, in born in Pekin. And like Mr.
Hey,
what is it
Patricia, can
say?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
I'm
can hear
talking,
you,
Patricia,
Rachel.
can you hear me? No, I'm talking about Patricia. You know, Patricia, they come in so many
Yeah,
times. She
yeah.
just feels so bad that,
Um,
you know, able to give your own opinion.
Yeah. So like what yeah they say, what you what they say, it's sometimes you know you want to be part of this kid's life, and sometimes the woman they go through your own phases, and like what you they talk about. Okay, it's a in terms of divorce. Okay, if the picking name, why is the man they pay child support? Sometimes it's not all about the money. Maybe at that time that person don't need that money. It just need you to be a father figure to that child.
So when does child support? Let's talk about child support now. I've been talk about divorce and co-parenting, when does child support comes into play? Because is it that woman they just like forgive or them born to sleeping with this man here, probably then break away or the intentional have to break away. I'm just saying, and child support comes into play in this part of the world because Africa in holiday, the man can choose for care and it choose not for care. That law they know the way the old man them like that. But in this part of the world is so paramount. But when does child support comes into play? Because even sometimes I have heard from men, like I said, media in the middle right now in this discussion, but I have heard from men where even when they divorce with this woman, everybody don't move on. Once they not say the man don't get relationship, the woman they put on child support. Before the man don't get relationship, they work them out
good.
somehow. The picking and small,
Um,
they do what he able for this small. But I'm just being realistic here and putting everything on the table to you guys. And the man and they complain say, "Oh, as me get relationship, so that man put me in a court for child support." So when does this child support comes into play, especially for man them, where the man they don't get a relationship, or now where they really honestly know they take care of the picking them at all. Amasa.
Some women, according to legal law, some women they go for child support if then go to government for help. The moment you go to government for help, the government they ask for the man in telephone number. Because they no need for no social stuff. They ask for the man in telephone number or any party way in telephone number where you get that they able for track the man down, and from that point they able for right time. If you know in job that the right time in job for invite them to court and for can answer. And of course we can get for proof first of all if I'm born they picking them, because the court system not just a grab and go hit you with child support. They have to prove it that these are your children legally, and from that moment on they ask you for your pay stub and they do the assessments for let us see. Because I remember when they do payroll, these the government is send directly for we deduct the money from the gross pay before the person even get the net pay. But also some can go court.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, because I just want to say most times
there are other one them way forcing they go. There are other one where the woman they go na family courts, where they go directly na family court, where family courts they request that. So I'm not for say that they go to government help to governmental assistance that they get demand them, but also so they work out with them foot go na the family court and then raise that concern the end the courts get for rights demand and invite them. Okay, so the only thing when me go get for say if this man they taking exit, and then again as I talked the word from the beginning, you can't to the round table, you discuss with the woman and say okay with the part company we go we way, but here is the deal, I'm going to take care of this speaking, this is how much I could afford and everything. Sometimes men be smart, put them in writing, and if you know so the moment you begin clash now your life with a woman, please do yourself a favor, keep all the receipts, all these things, because when you get for provider and a court for proof say you they help this woman, you they buy clothes for this speaking, you they can and go places, take pictures, do as much as you can to prove to the court. But man then go clap their hand, clap their foot, then go to the court without anything, and the woman go stand a chance where go talk say now in the picking they told in the picking they do this, now they do that, now they do that. But if you the man, because Racheal, it's not all the time the man pay child support. There are other women people that will women they pay support to the men.
Yes.
Okay, there are other one on the vice versa.
Yes,
so
true.
men learn this the moment una begin argue, and also una arguments they get for reach certain level, keep records. And then waiting me notice say some people can just do is then go rather get one job on the books and then all the other jobs on the side we go make lady woman not know. But the moment now I tell you anything now woman go say in a court, if you get one more proof they either jack up the money and then you be in trouble. And so many people then they in jail right now just because of child support. But coming back to our topic about co-parenting, These are things where they affect the child. It's not that money that the man brings, or it's not the money that the woman gives to the man
Because
as
I
child
was just
support.
about saying it. I was just about asking that question, I
It's
was
not
just
just the
about asking
money,
that question.
it's about the love, it's about
If
raising the
it's just
child.
all for the money.
Yeah, it's not about the
Okay,
love, it's about
thank
raising
you.
the child together.
All right, thank you, Massa. I want to come to, before I come to Prince, Rita. Massa don't talk about the situation where surrounding why how men gets into court for child support mostly, although women themselves they pay child support. But let's be realistic here. Like we always don't talk from the beginning of the program. The first fundamental issue, first of all, when they go wrong inside, then divorce here, and because we they fail for talk about it on the round table before even making those moves, taking into consideration the children. Okay, having said that, let's put it this way: is it all about the money? But because I'm still emphasizing here, in as much as we're a woman, but man them back and we bond them. In as much as some man them bad, but we have some good men also.
Yes.
We're ready
Yes.
for support and ready for take care of them, picking them.
Yes.
And we have these women out there just because sometimes the man don't move on and they're not ready for move on it. Once they reach the man in a relationship, oh, these are the campus and child support. Now when you get money for take care of this girlfriend or this woman, now make you know take care of the bikini. So these are the campus and child support. So let's begin to look at some of the reasons why when the woman and the care go demanding for child support. Is it for really a genuine, really reasons, or is it just because of their personal emotions? That is why let's be realistic here, and that is the only way we can able for do co-parenting in the right way, in the interest of these children. Rita.
Sometimes some women then they do because they are hurt and they feel like I want to get back at you. Sometimes some women they do because of the man is not providing, he's not taking, like you go talking about say I go do this, and he's not coming forward with what he say he go help out. So you forcing that woman to say, you know what, I have to go to the system, this is what I want, and this is what, and then you don't see sometimes go there. Some man then go say because of the woman care and go child support, then he quit his job. He doesn't want to work anymore. He feel like, okay, you know what? I'm not giving this woman the money. But one thing where I want for let people they know either the man or the woman, because I have a friend, she's a medical doctor, and she's actually paying the man child support and even alimony, you know. And to me is I feel say, you know, now both ways. The woman themselves, like waiting, I believe Massa say, the woman self can pay child support. It depends on your income or what you're making. If you're making more than the other person, you have to pay that person. So one, now some man then they when me don't see. And now we all salon people them. Then they quit their job because of this woman care and go child support, and they feel like I don't want to work anymore. But have you think about if you're not providing for this child, you're not supporting, okay, let's say the woman take you child support and you feel like say, okay, you cannot make this. That doesn't mean you have to quit your job because of you don't want to be responsible for a seed that you brought into this world. And so woman then they, like you say, then go take the mango child support because they want to retaliate, they want to revenge, they feel like they feel hurt. And like we brothers say, yes, man then quick for like then go move on. Okay, they're easily to move on. Like when my mama died, 2 years later, after how many years of marriage, my dad said, you know what, I want to move on. 2 years after my mom passed away. And guess what? For me as a woman, it was a very hurtful thing for me at that time. But guess what? That's life. He had a child through that. It didn't work out. And guess what? Is my dad a great father? Yes, he is a great father. Men has a different way of going through their own things. They have a different way of being grieving. They say, okay, you know what? Let me replace this. Maybe I know go think about my wife. But guess what? It's a long way. So I feel say the woman them where they kill the man and gonna cut because of if you know say this speaking as this money and a good papa. he can provide for him pikin. Una sit down around table and talk about this. And sometimes then pikin can grow up, no say, okay, me mama can me papa go for child support. Then it becomes like it's a problem. The pikin feel like, why do you have to do that? So if we can communicate, if you feel like you've tried to communicate and it's not going through, una don't call mediator inside, now the salon community is not going through, then you can move forward and say, you know what? I want to do what is right. I cannot financially, I cannot provide for this child alone. I have to do this for the benefit of this child, because this child go basketball.
All right, I want to make Prince say something before we wrap up. You know, time no day. I know it's a whole conversation, and honestly, people I'm learning from people are also learning. It's a very good conversation, very fascinating conversation. So, Prince, what is that you take on this issue, like I said, of child support and all the rest of it?
Okay. This is for the men. You get some man them where today I know they hold back, to be honest, because this is something which I think so strongly about. You get some man that we fundamentally they're useless. They're really useless.
Right.
Any man we born to kill, a refuse for take care of picking financially, that man not worthy for calling himself a man. He's useless. Yeah. He's definitely useless. However, you get some woman them where even the man they take care of the picking, they do all kinds of things. The woman still want for care the man go to child support because he feels say by doing that it will damage the man in image, in integrity. Because for person who have child support, it indicates like for say the man not responsible, which may, in some cases that's not the case. But the woman just want for revenge, they find all kind of way for care this person go child support. Another thing I want to talk about in concluding. Back to that small clip we watch. I strongly feel say the human that we can do all that. So I know they blame them too much because some of them are in pain and all that stuff and do. The court system now sort of encourage women them for behave that kind of a way they. Because look like what the judge say. Because this man not get financially strong, so therefore it concludes say that equates to inability for take care of the pikin, which is nonsensical. The fact that you not get money not mean to say you're not capable of being a good father. And the courts get so many other isms other than the practice that the court. So the court for me is things, and I'm so angry with the court system of this country that I believe I say that they contribute a lot to the damage and the demise of pikin in this country. Okay, just to conclude again about this child support stuff. Waiting the court back guilty of, if you give 500 pounds to this woman every month, even if you let's say you take contracts from the pikin, the back to the pikin, they give the pikin pocket money, the court system not they acknowledge none of that. Then they still want for cost you money saving for pay X, irrespective of the fact that you want money or you're just independent. They get pocket money, they buy clothes for her, they buy phone for her, they buy all sorts of things. That's the other unfair part of the court system now this country. And that encourage women them for play the system against the men. I will stick to that. And the fact that I don't bring this topic on today, I'll find time, I'll get for put my thoughts on paper and send them to the court say, what you're doing, you're destroying the lives of these people. You know they protect the people in life for. They destroy them because they over-empower the women against the men, and consequently that they affect the kingdom. Therefore, understand the sort of interrelationship between empowering one party against the other. The loser in that equation there can only be the kids. But the courts then so stupid, the judge then so stupid, then they look things at just a superficial level. And the fact that you don't come bring this up to my mind, I have to do this. I have to write to the court.
No, it's okay.
Generally, it's sad.
They're just going according to the legal system because what happened is...
As we round up, we don't talk about the so many problems them or issues them where they inside divorce, getting into co-parenting. We don't talk about it a whole lot in the first place. People, they're so selfish. They're also selfish when we make the decision, first of
Exactly.
all, getting into divorce without thinking
Right.
about the children or the child. So let me wrap up by forming us, some kind of logical conclusion as to the things that we should not do as parents and the things that we should do. I don't say them, but let me just highlight some of the
Summarize.
very important things that where we not for do when we're co-parenting. So I want to give the floor to una quickly. Let me highlight some of the things then why una the co-parent sometimes the pikin they cancel the mama and the papa then when the pikin cancel the papa if na every Sunday or every Saturday then he go back then the mama go begin ask am boku question. So, Master, I want to answer you that one thing because some of parents are guilty of that. This is the truth. So
Well,
let's
I
talk
go
about
say one, I want to know about me picking in welfare. I not go ask a question. I dey beg parents not for ask a direct question for say waiting the happen at daddy house. But I go ask her, are you okay? Is everything okay with you? Is it anything that you're lacking that you want? What are your needs? Socially, do you think that you go into the games that you want to go to, the places that you want to go to? Do you don't get enough of what you want, or I go take to ask her other questions. We go still mean for that no in welfare in the house, because maybe the pikin go say, I'm always hungry, and that's waiting they bring the curiosity. I'm always hungry. Why are you always hungry? Sometimes some mama go say, hey, you step mama, they give you food. No, that's not the way you ask a child. Why are you always hungry? Is it that you don't want to eat or you don't have enough to eat? So some ways the way you ask the question because mama them, I know say we're curious about to picking them, right? We're very curious about to picking them, but please let we know how they ask questions, and please try not for ask waiting daddy they do, waiting Auntie Marie where they come. Is Auntie Marie treating you right? Because you know why you they plant something inside the picking in mind. You they plant something inside the picking in mind. If you
okay,
I know say
you
yes,
don't talk,
Chika.
Master. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just reading what Chika say. Chika say because I disagree to that. Always ask a child question to know if there is a form of abuse going on. Chika, let me answer that.
Yeah.
I'm not only as an educator, I'm also a mandated reporter. So for us to find out about children with abuse going on in the house, again, as I say, the way you ask questions, they make judgments. Okay, now I tell
Exactly.
you, if abuse is going on with a child, physically it tell because the child is start for withdrawing self. The child, and I tell you, where abuse they go on, it manifest in the child's life. The only time you go ask questions like
Except
what
if
is
you're a
going
parent,
on,
you
why are you so
understand.
quiet, why you they pull back, then the picking go able for. But you, the mother, also have to make yourself somebody that a child could confide in. Not all because you know mama means say that picking could
Absolutely.
confide in you. Because these are the mistakes that we they
Absolutely.
go through in a
I
family
agree
where they
with you.
feel safe. Some picking they go rather confide to teacher than they can confide to their parents at us because they know the
All right,
reaction between
okay.
mama and papa.
Okay, thank on the cake tree. I want to move on. Absolutely, Master. I agree with you. Abuse they manifest. There's so many signs when a child, is being abused. There's so many signs, especially except if you're not parents when they pay attention. But if you pay attention, you get that easily, and also you therefore make yourself available so that the child can be able to look at you as somebody I can talk to, because that's another issue again when mama then can behave in a way or parents can behave in a way the child don't feel comfortable to talk to. There's nothing wrong in answering question, Master. I agree with you 100%. It's just the way we go about ask those questions. So, Rita, what do you say? So some of the things that what we know for do when we co-parent.
Like what you see Saturday say just now, in terms of abuse and as how the mama or the papa can answer to that. And sometimes, it's not for say like we know one for handle the situation right, but we just don't know as African parents, what to say because we don't used to anything now for Allah. Anything now for waiting. We feel say, well, we'll do that. We begin and afraid but then sometimes in this part of the world now where we find ourselves, we need to make that atmosphere they waiting self say we begin and be able for come up to we and tell we this is what's going on, or this person is doing this, or this is what's going on. They're not to get that relationship they with we when it comes to that part.
All right, Prince, what do you think, say, follow the roundup? Because we can't talk about the good things then where we supposed to do as parents, both sides, what we do while we are co-parenting. But you can able for highlight some other things then quickly as the thing and what we know for do inside between mama and papa, what we the co-parents became.
The things that we know for do, we know for they talk about bad things to the Pekin about the other parents. We'll definitely avoid doing that. One of the things what people for do, this is the utopia situation. If when they talk about if they get something at school, both parents at least for make that effort, let them go meet at school, go parents meeting, let them work together. Let them forget about all the emotion, all the bitterness. Let them work together. Even though they may not like each other again, let them give that impression to the Pekin say, despite mama and papa not together, but they live at peace just for the betterment of the Pekin. So that Pekin is able to perceive peace and harmony amongst in parents them. Those are the quick areas I'm happy to say we do enough for doing it.
That's a very important point where you touch on where you say we not for talk bad, the two parents are not for talk bad for themselves in front of the child. Like when you go to papa will talk about that mama there, now so it tan, now so it been there, that make a left farm. They go to the mama again, that you papa there, now so it there. I think it's not good for the child. That's really that's a very good point where you raise up.
Yeah.
You talk about
yes, Racheal,
asking questions.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Spencer,
yes. Honestly, I'm so sorry, but then one thing, let me establish one thing, that divorce not is the best option. Most times we can divorce because of pride and ego. And like how many what I've been they talk just now, you find out so when that divorce don't coincide, the parents them, they use the Pekin them, they vent out the anger on the Pekin them. You go here, papa go tell girl Pekin say, you useless like you mommy. You go here, mama go tell boy Pekin say, you foolish like you daddy. What you not supposed for being at the home? If una also don't decide say una no want for date together again, una want for divorce. I think so when it comes to the Pekin them, una get for ready for make sure say the Pekin in your business go before, because the children are hurting. The Pekin and they suffer. Because when you go school, you see picky whether in a house with mama and papa, whether they go sometimes sports. If mama not there, papa day, or mama and papa day together, then you they come, you not just say, I'm going for do I'm alone. It's not possible. Because of we pride and ego, we they deprive we picking them. I want speaker they say if the papa they go let it go, I forget nothing for do it again. That's I'm sorry, but then you deprive the Pekin. The Pekin need him, mama. The Pekin need him, papa, at every time now in life. So if una don't decide say una no one for them together, when una your points that one day, una for members say them Pekin not a one person the men. Because like we in Africa, if you not be careful, tell go carry the Pekin go ask you, say me papa, mama uda na me papa, or he go to him papa and ask her, say papa uda na me mama, because the Western world is a little bit different. una get opportunity for carry person go court for child support. Yeah, even when you carry the man go family support unit, there are times he does not even own up to his responsibilities. And like how my brother Amy they say, he don't try. That's 1 out of a million. Most times, what the man then they do, then they deprive the woman, you know, go send support so that the woman go get the pikin. So in all the support. So when he sees something, the woman not in the position for everybody take care of the pikin, the woman not get option and for give for let step mama go men. And honestly, no woman no one let step mama men the pikin. Step papa can come because the mama go able to team up and say, no, this na me pikin, for do this. But when he go to step mama, the papa 9 chances to 10 not get sent at the house. Now, waiting the step mama wants 9 day because the woman controls the home. She is virtually in charge. When the man can just get and save for food, again and they say pay the bills, again and say the beginner school fees. But with the day-to-day running of the home, now the mama, the woman, I get up. So if that picking there with step mama, there are times it will be deprived. The man not even know because the love for the step mama they cover the love we get for the picking. So me want for established say the parents they not for make the pikin and suffer. If when they go apart, that mama no go hating pikin. You go hear some man themselves go say, you know go send no child support because the woman go get for eater. How water go run a pipe the pipe no so. Now it don't born in pikin, you go benefit from the pikin. So if you like the pikin, you don't get for member if the mama they benefit or not, you for support your pikin. Then likewise you the woman, you don't get for depend by the man wholly and solely. You self get for do your part. It's a 50-50 bargain. You don't go say the man for do all thing for the pikin, no. Then at the same time, you self not go do all the pikin to yourself. The pikin get for get chance for go to the papa, if you there to the mama, if you there to the papa, if you come over to the mama. But again, another problem, what I go tell you now, not trust. Because when this divorce don't come in, most people are not trust themselves. You will find out say some divorce they be because of unfaithfulness. So the mommy in the look say, if you don't be unfaithful to me, you don't grab, you don't go keep woman at it, you go able to take care of the pikin. So sometimes and then I make the woman the old the pikin. Sometimes and then I trust issues. You know me they take care of the woman and the pikin, you tell me that you then I also you. Now when una don't separate, you want to take care of the pikin. So we get to think of all the things that there is so much to it. We're not going to able to on this topic. It's so big, it's so wide. Divorce really they eat into families. And if you don't take them, it tell on the pikin so much that when himself married, himself they go into that relationship with that idea where either the mama or the papa don't tell her. If now boy pikin, so tell papa don't tell us a woman they don't better. When is it going to relationship? It is so tell on her. If that girl pikin, mama don't talk now. Yes, that day they get yes that himself not they get a good relationship. So you see the effects of divorce, how far it carry go. It go on and even tear up to 3rd and 4th generations because of the seed what they plant inside with the kingdom. I think say I can stop so far, Racheal. I don't
let me all go around.
Wow.
Thank you so much. You just don't put the icing to the cake. They've been baking this cake, everything, so you just come and put the icing. There's some key things that you mentioned, but I want to make, as we round up now, I want to make you tell family them, what are some of the things then, even the divorce or when they co-parents now, what are the things that we will do in the interest of the pikin?
But therefore do in the interest of the pikin. Number one, for take care of the pikin. You see them pikin here, they need care, they need support. They have a right to education, they therefore go to school. They have a right to food, they therefore eat. So like when we say child support very important, it's very, very important. In fact, like we in Africa, I will give several examples. This COVID-19, it makes a man them not they give child support. Several times I don't do a legal aid board where come and they can't they cry, even though they don't go sign. You go see it and you say, hey, this is not corona, they don't pay me, which is not true. or this na corona na have salary, so let the pikin be. The pikin not get for suffer for nothing under whatever circumstance. Because like how we people let me say that pikin no can knock na the mouth say they want for come. Now we, because of we lackness for we serve, where we do what we for do, the pikin then come. So we owe them that responsibility, their right for take care of them. Then of course we get for train them. You find out say again, if you don't take them, single parents, they end up for spoil them, picking them. Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. So we owe them that one day for train them. But because the separation don't come, if we're not careful, we then so shower love on the pikin because we are single parents, forgetting that don't mean say we're not for training fine. So we owe them that right and responsibility that they should be well mannered, they should be well trained, they get right for good school, they get right to good food, they get right to their social life, therefore live a social life. Because sometimes they will then do separation or then divorce here don't come. We the mama them especially, we are a little bit shy from the public domain. So mommy they forget for go let them not ask and say, where you man? You know, so all time then her host, then you let the pikin in her house with her. If they forget, let the pikin associate with other people. That again negative effect on the pikin. So again, boku them where we can do when they affect the pikin them negatively when they divorce your inside.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patricia. Like I say, you just come and just put the icing to the cake, you know. And I really appreciate when you come at this point and you lay down a very good foundation, and you know, and say a lot of things then where even affect divorce and co-parenting. And I believe the family really out there don't see and understand how it's very important for making co-parents very good than in the interest of the pikin. So as we round up, I want to make family when they watch we Yusuf send your contribution on the things that what we for do for make a good parent on both sides as we co-parents pikin. So we get one minute for we guess them for me to just tell we quickly waiting for do as when the co-parents the pikin them while divorce don't come inside. Rita, 1 minute please. All right, so Masa, you can come in. I think say Rita, no, they get me, but Masa, you can come in. 1 minute, please. Waiting on some of the things that way we can do as Patricia don't talk for make we go able for co-parents well in the best interest.
Become the child's advocate. Make sure you always communicate with the husband or the wife where you know for say if that you now woman communicate with the man, tell the man, give report what is going on about the child in health and in school business, because those are two major things. Them and social activities, make sure you get the man involved. Don't just keep it to yourself, but make sure you get the man involved. And then please, every other relationship where you go inside, make sure you advocate on behalf of the child. Get your partner for love your child, not get your partner for isolate and seclude your child for make sure your child they separate, and then the other people where they go born with the forcing, or maybe in your picking there you take them more than that, because a picking is wide awake, it'll watch, it'll listen, you understand everything. If you begin act different to the picking just because of the new woman and the new man, it hurts the child, and this now waiting the picking go grow with, it go make one day it manifest this thing where instead don't big. So love your child, so you show your child, bury the hatchet. You also ask if the woman not communicate with you, please ask questions. Say, I in her, you know, show concern. This week I in school, is he doing well? How in grades? Does he need help? He need extra tutoring? All these things show concern. Any activity coming up now in school, if the woman they answer you harsh oneself, just they persist. If the man they answer you harsh, just they persist. Please, papa, mama them, that pikin make sure he experience love inside a new home where he go between step mama, step pikin, and step brother and sister them.
All right, thank you very much, Massa. This, like we all agree, it's a very broad topic, and we get for bring them again and look into other aspects them and other things them where the pikin they be affected, like you say, when the mama and papa don't build a different home, a new home. How una go able for keep that pikin they same? Because it's very important how the pikin will get emotionally and break down when he in a different home now, aside from in two parents them where he always knows. So we're going to bring that topic back again and make we look at the issue there where we don't left out. Prince, 1 minute, you final word as to waiting parents and for get a very good parenting and for the best interest of the pikin.
First and foremost, anybody where they enter into a new relationship, if that new relationship, the person not like you begin, I feel say it will be a red flag for first and foremost. Sure. You're not going to enter into a relationship where the woman not let me begin. If you not let me begin, then forget it. I'll just move on. The second point is, I think Master don't summarize everything so well. Both parents for try for make sure say everything pertaining to this child, both parents for be involved in terms of the education, the health, the social activities, then for able for discuss these things, the welfare of the child, the future of the child, the wishes of the child, the desires of the child, both parents for find a way for go past them pain barrier and try for get 100% involved. That is the clue in the topic. Co-parenting means say una for do cooperation for day between both parties, just for make sure say the pikin will come out fine.
All right, thank you very much, Patricia. I want final word before we don't wrap up now. Do you want to say anything?
Yes, Racheal. Like how the speakers don't say, let we try for love with the kingdom. If we're not careful, another negative effect of divorce is you they hate the pikin, because you they think of waiting the one spouse don't do, you they transfer them to the pikin. There's so much hatred, so much, all the way the pikin they around you, they vex. If you not take them, so you go they curse them. I not think the pikin deserve that one day. The pikin not supposed for be, not supposed for benefiting from una spoiled relationship. If una relationship don't scatter, that pikin day, he forget extra love, he forget care, he forget attention. If the pikin not then also, you say they go now in school, go find out how they do now school. See if you need anything, then you can provide them for them, please. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. I want to say thank you to all of me viewers them will be they watch this program. It has been a very fascinating discussion, I must confess. And I want to say thank you to my guests. Me guests them Prince, Rita, Massa, Patricia. I feel like so much you not be there in the beginning of the program, but guess what? You make a very good comeback. I can tell you, you make a very good comeback towards the end of the program.
Thank you.
And to me as them, I want to say thank you, because Una self contributes a lot to the program where I believe say we all learn. Georgiana, Chika, Candy Rose, Patricia, another Patricia, Una really Abdullah. I know we're able to mention all, but Una say a lot where will help with her in terms of co-parenting when two parties that don't agree for divorce. But please, hey, let me say something here before I wrap up. Please, first of all, Patricia, like I say, Patricia say it's not an option. Divorce not an option. And I want from the religious part of it, I want for so in line with Patricia. Divorce is not an option. If like it's your right, but it's not an option. If only we can think about the children, if only we can think about the interests of the children, we sit down at that round table there and then we begin to think about how much the pikin get for lose or 10 for lose when we decide for breakup. I think say that alone go make una say, you know what, let we put aside the ego and work in the best interest of we picking them. And a lot of things happen. A lot of this happen in Africa. Africa, woman, they beer, like love no they, but they beer. What is so? Are they beer for me picking them? Are they sit down for me picking them? You know, because not to say the woman stupid, not to say the woman cannot move on, but because when you think about that picking them, and no one let other woman come men me picking, and no one let me picking their step mama. When you think about that thing, and they are some African woman, you go say no waiting. I like what this man do. Are they sit down and be married those just for the interest of me picking them? Yes, in this part of the world, we don't adapt to the white man situation. But okay, I want us as Africans to think about this before any of we make those moves when it comes to separation. Think about your child. Think about your children. Think about their mental and emotional status. They deserve to be loved by both parents. Let us think about that before ever we make such a decision. And we go get for come back with this topic, if possible, next week for make we talk about other aspects then where we not even mentioned today, where really we for consider when we're having this breakup. Till next week, I want to say thanks to my guests and thanks to my viewers. So this is how I'm going to draw the curtain down. Till next week, keep telling it to Racheal.